Welcome back to the second video of this week, and we've been working with section views, so you should have all of the section views already created. We had cross section 1, we had a garage, typical wall section, a longitudinal section, and a typical wall section of the house in the basement. Now, if you all remember if you haven't watched the first video, you need to do that first. But if you remember, we'll take a look in here, and you see how this is my floor right here, and we brought that siding and that exterior wall board over top of it, and none of that is showing. But if you go to the back here, I did it. Do y'all see that? And right there it is. See how it's coming down over the back of it, coming down into the foundation wall. So I want to go ahead and do that with all of it. I mean, you can do that with all of it if you want. And basically, if you just click on that wall, it should give us, a lot of times it'll give you the option just to pull it down, and see how this one does. And you come over here and grab that, and you'll pull that down. You can actually pull it right to it. Do you see that? And that's just going to be basically for the appearance. And here it is. And you can bring that down, touch there. You got to click on the wall, and you should see two of them. You just want to grab the outside one, bring that down. And the basement, or the garage, we already fixed that earlier in one of my videos. So now what I want to do is catch this one here. Perfect. Bring that down. We'll bring this one down to touch that wall. And we're going to do all this before we start doing the annotation. The annotation is very simple. It won't take us just a few minutes to get that done. But I'm just trying to get our model looking really good, so when we get ready to do some renderings on this, it'll be all perfect. It looks all great, don't it? Now over here it's not letting me do that because this is yeah, it is. It's going to let me do it. I was going to say it's a different wall, but so we need to go in there and just do an edit on that wall, and modify, zoom in here and make sure that that's unlocked. Yeah, it's unlocked. So I should be able to do that too on this one. Should be able to grab that and pull that down to there. Perfect. Good shape. So now that looks pretty good all the way around through there. Now let's go in there and go into our typical wall sections, and I'll show you how to go about this. So again, that one's a little bit large, 1 1/2. I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch equals 1 foot. All that looks really good so far. Okay, so we're going to go in and we're going to put in our sill plates, and this is how you do it. Just come up here to component, and it's in just basic, your arc or annotate, and you're going to go in here and click on components, drop down to a detail component, and inside here we're going to look it up and let's see what we have already downloaded. And I'm looking for dimensional lumber, and here it is, dimensional lumber section. We have it. We're going to use a 2x6, and I hit my space bar and he'll turn it around, and it's going to set about right there. I always like to bring it out just a little bit, hit my alignment, bring it up to that. Now, I'm not for sure what they're wanting. They might want something larger. Most of the time 2x6 is what they use. And I want to go ahead and put myself an anchor bolt in there. And let's see if we can find one of those. So again, go to Annotate, and we'll go to Component, Detail Component, and let's see if we can find us an anchor bolt. Yeah, we got one. I want to use a 1-inch diameter. That's a big, heavy anchor bolt. Just line it up. And that's probably a little bit too big. Let's go 3/4 inch. That's good. You want to line it up right in the center and drop it in. Okay, so we got that in there. It looks good. And I come up here. Another thing I want to look at is, see this, looking at this wall, when I click on it, this is setting exactly where it needs to be setting. So I want to hit edit on this real quick, edit the type. And again, edit, modify, zoom over here, and I want to unlock my sheetrock. Okay? And it might not let me do it. I was hoping it would. It will. I have to unlock both of them. So when I do that, that looks pretty good. I think we'll be alright. Just like that for the time being. And I don't want that. We gotta go back and edit that because it brought my wall stud all the way down, and I do not want that. So click on it again and modify. Click that and lock that back, and hit OK on that. Lock that one back. Alright, see, it brought that back up there where I wanted it at. I was hoping I could get this one unlocked. That way I could bring the sheetrock up, but it's just not wanting to work the way that I wanted it to. So I want to edit that. Let's see if I can do it again. And sometimes if we go back in there a second time, it might allow us to do it. No, once it's attached to this wall stud, so it isn't going to let me do that. That's okay. We'll just close out of it and we'll move on. So alright, we've got to that point. We got that in. Now we come on up here a little ways, and I want to put in right here my top double plates. And to do that, go to Annotate, Detail Component, and I want to come down here to, I think we used on this, was it 2x6 or 2x4? I'm not for sure. I think we used a 2x6. So come up here and grab me a 2x6, and there'll be two of these. Hit your space bar. Nope, it looks like it was a 2x4 wall here. So come up here and you don't have to hit nothing, just change it to 2x4. Space bar, flip that around, and I want to put it over here for the time being. And then I'll come up and modify alignment. There's that, and then I want to do another alignment, and it probably isn't going to let me do the alignment the next time. Nope. But what I could do is just bring it over, straight over, and it actually caught it perfectly. And then I can just go ahead and I can copy that, bring that one down there, and align, align the bottom of it to that. There's my top double plate, as you all can see. Good deal. Alright. Next thing that we're going to look at is come up here, and we've got to put some more of those in. So again, just come to Annotate. Detail component should be already in there, and we're going to put it right there. That's going to be my Sill plate. I come up here to the top, and these will be my top double plates. You'll have two of them. A lot of times they'll just connect right in there, and you don't have to do the copy and alignment and all that good stuff as we've done in the past. So we've got those in. Everything's looking good. Also, we'll have a header board on the back end of this, and I forgot to put that in there. So we might have to move our anchor bolt over. Now this is that's a big, it's a 2x14. It sure is. I couldn't remember what size. This is our header board. Some people call them rim joist. Goes right there. That'd be perfect. It didn't hit. I was afraid it hit my bolt, but it's all good. Everything's looking great. Everything's looking really good. So now what we would have to do is come in here, and we're going to just tag all this stuff. And I want to pull this window out just a little bit so that everything is going to be showing. Okay, something like that would be fine. And I want to come up here and hit Annotate and just annotate all this stuff, okay? And this is how you do it. Just go to Text, and we'll use a leader. And when you do that, just come in here, and we start at the top. This one right here, just click on it, bring it down just a little bit, just like they have in the book. Now, typically, this should be an 1/8 of an inch text. I started with a 1/4 inch. I'll fix that in just a minute. But we're going to type this in. This is a 2x14 wood floor, and I need to cap those. Wood floor joist at 16 inch on center. That's what OC means. So it's a little bit large, so I click on it, I'll come back over here, and it should be an 1/8 of an inch. Boom. If you don't have that, all you'd have to do would have been fuse on 4th, just hit edit type, and then duplicate, and then just change it text size. You just change it to an 1/8 of an inch, and you've got it. So now we've got it set up perfectly. Take off and do it again, and it's wanting to do 1/4 inch every time. I'll do 1/8 inch now, and we'll go through and put everything the way it should be. And this is saying down here I should have a 2x6 down here, and for some reason I got a 2x4. I might not have caught exactly what they were wanting as far as my section view, but let's click on this real quick and let's see what it says. Now this is a 2x4, so that's what I'll put in there. So just come down here, just grab that 2x4 wood studs at 16 inch OC. Now this one needs to be, make sure this one is on 1/8 of an inch as well. Alright. Let's see what else we have here. I want you guys to put all of this information in, and also text you've got in here, if you can get to it and find it, you got 3/4 inch plywood sheathing. And that's this one. 3/4 inch plywood sheathing. Okay. We got inside of that, you're going to have an air infiltration barrier, vapor shield there, and then we've got a 1/2 inch gypsum board, and there's a window there, but here's our 1/2 inch gypsum board. Of course, that's sheetrock, we know that. And then we got to label everything. And also it says vapor barrier in there too. Vapor barrier. Okay. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And I'd come on down and just go ahead and put everything in, you know, like this right here. This is a 2x14 floor joist. And I'm going to say at 16 inch on center. It didn't really tell me, but I'm just, most of the time, that's what everybody likes to do, is 16 inches on center. Alright, and just go through there and dimension everything, you know, just put all your text in. This is 2x4 material up here. Put whatever this is, and if you don't know what something is, on your design, 2x4 wall stud at 16 inches on center. If you don't know for something, like, you can click on it, and this is an 8 inch rafter there. So again, you come in here and just click on it. 2x8 rafter with, I want to say probably 3/4 inch, maybe 5/8, 3/4 inch sheathing, or plywood, or OSB, or not OSB, but Advantech. Most of the time people utilize that quite often. And I can edit the type, and we can see what material is on that top. It's 3/4 inch plywood. Okay, 3/4 is what we got. So good deal. You can come up here and put asphalt shingles. You just need to think about what the contractor would need. Asphalt shingles with underlayment, which most of the time is like a tar paper type of material. And you come down here, and then you're just going to tell about your foundation. So that's some ways that you can go in there and do that. Also, we need to put in some insulation on this thing, and I'll show you how to do that insulation. If you go to Annotate right now, you can hit insulation, and you can get the right size. This is 3.5 inch. That's for a 2x4. It's perfect. Get the center of that and bring that thing straight down through here, just like that. There's your insulation for that wall. You come up here and do the same thing. Here's your insulation, just like that. And of course you'll have insulation, well, a lot of times in the basement. If you got a basement, you don't have to put insulation in that floor there, but you will have to have insulation up here in the attic. And let me go in here and I'll just duplicate that insulation. I'll click on one, and then I will, I was going to say we could duplicate it, but I was wondering if I went in here and put like, no, it's wanting to do that. So that's one it's stuck with right now, so that's okay. We'll use that. That looks really, really good. So far, so good. And then you'll want to put a text in for that. And this is in the walls. And you'd have to look at another one of my classes. We talk about insulation properties, and typically around this area is the R13 batt insulation for the walls. Okay, so get that. Make sure you get that one in there with everything that we've done so far. And if we go in here to our garage wall section, we'll do the same stuff on that. We'll put all the identifications in there, and this one here, wall's going all the way up, and we don't have anything in there for that top. So the low roof, I would imagine, and I'd have to go back in here and take a look at that. I want to think the low roof, because the garage is going to be pretty tall. I think this would be the low roof in the garage. So I'm just going to go ahead and put go into Annotate, Detail Component, and I want to put my 2x4s in there. Drop that in. There's my Sill Plate. Go ahead and put my anchor bolt in there while I'm at it. Now you guys, you might have 2x6s in some of this that you've done in the book. I was just throwing mine together real quick. So if you got 2x6s, leave it as a 2x6. If I was building this house, I'd do all my first floor with 2x6s, to be honest with you. So I'm going to stick this in here. Drop it in, and I probably have to take and turn it the other way. And I'll just do a mirror. This would be a good way to do it. And I'll have two of them, and I'll delete out the one I don't want. So there's got that in there, and I want to imagine 9 foot, 12 foot. I'm not for sure about the garage. I'd have to go in there and look at it, but I want to put my double plates on there. I'm just going to go in there to Annotate, Detail Component, come over here and get my 2x4s, and I'm just going to stick these in here and use my alignment, and then go in there. I can do a copy and grab myself another one. Copy. I'm not for sure if we were going to do, if I had my garage, I'd want it to be taller, like a 12-foot garage or something like that, but I'm not for sure exactly. I keep saying that, so let's go in there, let's take a look at it and see what we designed. Okay. Yeah, you're wanting to go to that. I want to go to my elevations, but by looking at that just real quick, looks like to me that roof is setting on the low roof, so that's perfect. We'll take that section all the way up to the low roof and put our double plates right here. That's where the roof is going to be setting on. So we're good shape there. And just for sake of time, just go in there and annotate this and put all your annotations in there, like what we did in the earlier typical wall section. and put you some insulation and things of that sort in there. And when you get that done, just submit it to me. If you have any questions on this, just please let me know.